Hello, I'm Raging Amish, and welcome to a rapid-fire review of the Mark 14 EBR in Call of Duty Ghosts. I very rarely start my videos with a disclaimer, but unfortunately, I'm fighting a bit of a cold at the moment. It's been too long since I last posted, and we have a long ways to go, so I think we can all endure one video like this. I guess it's kind of appropriate, though, that I be sick for this video. Truth be told, I really don't like the Mark 14.
One total catastrophe like this is just the beginning.
The second of 4 marksman rifles, the Mark 14 is available for 7 squad points. Like all weapons in tier, the gun is semi-automatic with a max fire rate of 480 RPM. As you can guess, this fire rate is a limiting factor, and that's what you would expect from a weapon designed for long-range combat. I have to admit though, the gun does have a decent flip side to the low fire rate. The Mark 14 has one of the most impressive damage profiles in the game. By default, each shot inflicts a whopping 70 damage up close and 49 at a distance. To make the situation even better, your range is frankly very impressive. The Mark 14's damage starts to drop at 33 meters and completely drops off at 51 meters. To paraphrase, this means the Mark 14 can get a 2-hit kill all the way out to 50 meters. Despite my biased perspective, I will admit the range is good. You simply don't have that many fights with the Mark 14 where you will actually need 3 shots to kill. On a side note, you also have an alternative fire mode to consider. If the single shot mode isn't to your liking, you do have the option to use a 3-round burst mode. But I really don't advise this. In practice, you lose accuracy, and more importantly, you lose precision. So stick to the semi-automatic version. The 3-round burst attachment simply isn't worthwhile. Regardless of which fire mode you choose, the headshot bonus clocks in at 56%, which is definitely worth noting. 1 shot to the head grants you enough power to get a 1-hit kill up close and a 2-hit kill at range. This bonus extends to the neck as well, so aim for that noggin when you can. To round out the Mark 14's power, you have high bullet penetration, which is typical for the tier, so I'm moving on. Overall, I will admit up front the power on the Mark 14 looks good, at least on paper. 70 damage up close is nothing to sneeze at. The fire rate could definitely be better, but few weapons bring bullets that are so strong. So where is my Amish rage at? The gun seems decent so far, doesn't it? I said I don't like the Mark 14, maybe. Just maybe, this gun isn't so bad after all.
Yeah, and monkeys might fly out of my butt.
Once you get outside of the bullet power, nothing on the Mark 14 really stands out to me. For starters, each magazine holds 18 rounds, and with 2 spare mags, this translates to just 54 starting shots, and a max starting loadout of 126 rounds. For a primary, this is very limiting. Your weapon pace also is at best average. You move at 90% of the norm, have huge hipfire crosshairs, and a typical ADS time of 300 milliseconds. Anything you can salvage from the weapon pace is automatically ruined once you take a look at the reloads. These are awful! By default, the mag refills in 2.9 seconds, or 4 seconds if completely empty. Either way, you have a 1.87 second add time. Need I remind you, the magazines are already small. Extended mags is borderline mandatory to help ease the pain of slow, constant reloads. Still, we haven't hit the absolute worst point on the Mark 14. I think my biggest grievance has to be the recoil. This gun is bizarrely unpredictable. Sometimes the weapon will stay true and hit your target's dead center. Other times the crosshairs lurch to the side, completely taking you off target. You can thank the unusual recoil profile and the extremely low recenter speed at 900, which by the way is the lowest in tier. This generates unpredictable lurches that will be your undoing. You can never quite predict which way the Mark 14 is going to kick, so you can't really compensate for it all that well. In my opinion, few guns have such inconsistent recoil.
I've had worse. You lie.
I guess it goes without saying, the Mark 14 is not a gun for me. Some may think my overall assessment is too harsh, so I will stress that some things are good on this rifle. The shots are strong and the range is decent. If the Mark 14 works for you, so be it. Have some fun. I just can't stand the slow reloads, the small capacity, or the unpredictable recoil. Compared to the other marksman rifles, I simply can't make a good argument for the Mark 14. The MR28 and the IA-2 are both far more accurate. The SVU, on the other hand, can always pull off a 2-hit kill. So tell me, what does the Mark 14 do that the others can't? I think it goes without saying, this gun can't keep up with its competition.
The only one around here not doing his job is you!
That concludes this review of the Mark 14 EBR and Call of Duty Ghosts. What should I review next? Leave your comments down below. Until next time, this is Raging Amish, checking out.